know that the thought of living on an AmeriCorps stipend for a year can be intimidating, but we did it and you can too. We compiled a list of tips for how to get the most out of your AmeriCorps stipend and how to not let it be an impediment to you having an awesome year of service with AmeriCorps.
So we're out here at beautiful Bar Lake. It's right near Brighton. If you're into running or want to take a walk around, it's about 8 miles around, and we come here quite often. It's awesome.
There are a ton of free running groups, both at parks and a lot of the breweries around the area. One that I went to a lot was in City Park. Some of the breweries have one, including Diebold, Denver Beer Co., and Highland Tavern Burger. All have running groups where they offer free food. If you're interested in any yoga or going to any gyms, a lot of the places in Denver offer free weeks or free days, including some of the yoga places are Chi, Kindness, Samadhi, Core Power.
Do what I like to call Groupon hopping. So you get on Groupon and you can get like a month at a yoga studio for 30 bucks. I got a bunch of like cheap 10 packs or 20 packs for cycling studios, and there's like bar method classes and boxing and pretty much everything that you could imagine. And also your communities all have rec centers, and a lot of them are pretty nice. And so rec centers tend to have monthly passes of as cheap as like 10 or 20 bucks, as well as some of the hospitals. You can join your hospital gyms for like 10 or 20 bucks a month. They also have punch cards if you prefer to do the punch card style.
Just because you're living on an AmeriCorps stipend doesn't mean you can't do anything. So be sure to take advantage of websites that offer online deals such as Groupon or Living Social. For example, I found a hotel in the mountains for $50 and was able to go there for a weekend. Something that's just here in Denver, it's called Mile High on the Cheap. They send out emails every day of different free or discounted events going on at restaurants or different organizations in the area. Something that's more social is meetup.com, where you can go and meet up with people your age and do discounted events, or again, even free. It's a great way to meet people in the city. And then after these events, you can take home Lyft, which is kind of like a taxi service, but I found it to be cheaper than the local taxis.
Make sure you go to a Rockies game. You can get rock pile tickets for as cheap as even $5.
In Denver and Boulder and the surrounding areas, there are tons and tons of free and really cheap live music events and festivals. But I'll tell you some of our group's favorites. A bunch of us went to the Chipotle Festival, which happens every August at City Park. Labor Day weekend, there's the Taste of Colorado, which is like this big festival with food trucks, and you have to actually pay for most of the food, but then there's free live music the whole weekend, and that's super fun. Lots of vendors with various crafts and stuff like that. In Netherlands, they have Frozen Dead Guy Days, which is a really crazy fun time. It's a celebration for this guy who cryogenically froze himself in Netherlands. It's super goofy. In April, Breckenridge puts on this event called Spring Fever, and it's every weekend through their closing date, which is towards the end of April, and they have free live music every Saturday. So some of us saw like Yonder Mountain String Band and the Blues Travelers. Later on in May, there's the Five Points Jazz Festival, which is in the Five Points neighborhood in Denver. A bunch of live music and, again, street vendors, and that's completely free too. So then aside from that, another really fun way to get to go to festivals for free, because some of them do actually cost money, is you can volunteer to work at the festival and at various vendor booths or like various stations in the festival, and then you get free entry.
I must get around to it. I am ready. Crazy little thing, dollar.
Transportation is going to be one of your biggest expenses this year, but there are a lot of ways you can save. Whenever you're kind of going out in the cities that you're living in, Denver or Boulder or wherever else you choose to live, look for public transportation options. The RTD is the regional bus transit, and you can look online for their schedules, and it's pretty cheap. Just remember to bring cash. I like to bike a lot. The weather's nice. It's a really big biking city. You can also walk. When you're parking in Denver, it costs a lot of money, and parking tickets add up, and they happen. Trust me, I've gotten a ton. So try to avoid that if you can. It's also great to carpool with your friends if you're going up to hike or doing anything else. During your year of service, you're going to be driving a lot, driving to and from the clinic, to team meetings, the hospital, home visits, all that, and it adds up pretty quickly. But the nice thing is you get mileage reimbursement, which is 0.56 cents to the mile. You can also do carpool with other fellow members' places and your site partner, and that helps to save on gas. And you get a free nap in the car and a free DJ, which is always fun. When you get here, get a King Soopers or a Safeway card. If you purchase groceries there, then you can also get savings on gas, and so you can save money that way if you buy gas there, and they're all over Denver, Boulder, and everywhere where the clinics are.
This thing called love.
Try to save money on food by bringing your lunch every day. You can also save money by doing group potlucks, especially if the rest of your group loves food as much as you do.
Since starting AmeriCorps, I buy all my produce at Sprouts. They have the best deals, and you can find peppers for as cheap as like 3 for $1, and just check their flyer, see what's on sale, and go right ahead and stock up on fruits and vegetables.
So at all of the hospitals we go to, both Platte Valley, Longmont United, and actually North Suburban as well, we can get employee discounts. So if you want to eat at the hospitals, there's pretty delicious and affordable options.
Always buy in bulk. If you can get to Costco, go for it. And once you make your meals or make a large meal, store it all in your freezer so you have something easy to take to lunch.
One of the most important ways to make the living stipend more livable is by applying for food stamps. As AmeriCorps members, you're eligible for SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. SNAP benefits come in the form of an EBT card that automatically gets loaded the first week of each month. Your EBT card can be used exactly like a debit card at any major grocery store and even some of the smaller ones. So, the logistics. The easiest way to apply for SNAP is online on the Colorado Peak website, a website to which you will soon be referring your patients on a daily basis. Note that in the state of Colorado, if the only public assistance program you're applying for is SNAP, not Medicaid or anything else like that, you only have to fill out a very small portion of the overwhelmingly long online application. You don't need to disclose your assets. The only information you need to share on that application is your income and what you pay for rent and utilities. Apply immediately, like right now. Because even if it takes a month for the state to process your application, you'll receive benefits backdated to the day that you applied. Expect a call from someone in your county's Department of Housing and Human Services within a week or 2 of your application to set up an interview. Don't be shy about calling or just going to the office if your case has been processed incorrectly or excessively slowly. One of the really important things to know is that your living stipend is not taxable and not considered income. Since you have no income, you should therefore be eligible for the maximum benefit granted to a single person household, which right now at this time is $189 per month. Make sure they know that you're an AmeriCorps State and National Direct member, not an AmeriCorps Vista member, since Vista stipends are considered income and ours are not.
We all know it's really expensive to buy work clothes these days, so I found some great deals and I wanted to share them with you. Target is great. I got multiple pairs of these skirts in different colors, so you can wear them year-round with tights. H&M has lots of these types of tops that are plain and would go with just about everything, and it's pretty cheap for work attire. Buffalo Exchange is a place where you can buy lightly used clothing, and you can also sell back your old clothing that you don't want anymore. This dress, which would be good for kind of a springtime dress at the clinic, originally would retail for over $100, but I got it for under $20. Goodwill and Plato's Closet, which exist everywhere. For shoes, I would recommend Payless. I have multiple pairs of these flats, and they've gotten me through many months of walking through the clinic and hospital. So these are my tips for how to shop on a budget, and also just how to get multiple things that mix and match so that you really don't have to buy that many pieces in the end.
So while we know the thought of living on the AmeriCorps stipend might seem kind of daunting, we hope that this video helped encourage you and give you some ideas about how you can make it work, because it really is very doable. And we also wanted to remind you to always keep in mind the patient population that we serve. We serve a vulnerable population, and many of our patients struggle financially, and so it's always good to kind of keep that in the back of your head and shift your perspective a little bit. So with that, we hope that you have an amazing year. Take advantage of every opportunity that's given to you, both at Salute and outside of your service, and enjoy every minute of it, because it's going to fly by.